Hello and welcome to another episode of Hope to Recap, where we catch you up to speed on our latest D&D episode for our current D&D campaign, Ravenwood. Today, we will be recapping episode 11, Storm Chasers. The episode begins with the group lecturing Ava yet again, but this time for attempting to help Roland suppress the darkness inside of him. To his surprise, Roland had no intention to, seeking more to understand it. That led to Roland having a terrible, cruel vision of his friends dying one by one, unable to fully escape the desolate whispers that now haunt his mind. The group discovers that Sterling has now been living inside Fortnite Lily with them as they stumble across his passed out body surrounded by booze. Filippo, smashing a bottle of booze on Sterling's head, wakes him up, therefore having him partake in the conversation. Alva, Roland, and Ania and Filippo all discuss the familiar dreams that they've had in which they are presented with a void before them, some choosing to look into it and seeing nothing, while others walk away from it hearing only familiar voices from behind, while others get dragged into it completely. Roland also tells Sterling of the band tattoo that he has on one of his wrists now, a band that was granted to him after his vision, a band that also allows him to see things when it combines itself with his eye. He also tells him of the pit of darkness that's lingering underneath the fort they are residing, fearing that he could no longer sleep inside his house. This has been brought up by Ava in the past, but was paid no attention to, fearing that he was making it up, rightfully so due to his past delinquent behavior. With this not so new information, Sterling asks the group that perhaps it's not a bad idea to investigate this. Everyone, although hesitant at first, agrees, since because of Alva this whole darkness thing has gotten out of hand.
Is there any expert we can go to that we can talk to about this?
You're looking at him.
Oh shit.
It was Traveler and I are the ones who really knew about it.
I'm glad our expert is currently in his underwear.
By the way, it's that white underwear that has the red hearts on it.
Oh my god.
It is or isn't?
It is, yeah.
Alright.
I'm thinking it's something that we might not
Have to worry about?
really know what it is.
Well,
And at least just seeing it. Seeing just what's down there also. We don't even know what else is down there.
If it's not a vision, could we get hurt by it?
I don't know.
You know,
I think I know
thought
who we should talk to.
It could
I've
be
never seen
reassurance
a vision
so
of a
Alva
pit
can
in
actually
my-
stay here.
in myself.
Why don't
They
we
decide to invite Toto along, convincing him with the promise of treasure along the way, treasure that the group is even unsure of. With this, the group prepares for the journey. Shen studies enchantments, Ania practices her crafting, both Alva and Filippo prepare potions of healing as well as potions of water breathing just in case, Pro reads a book on how to tame animals, and Roland just spends time with Sterling on the couch. As a new day dawns upon them, they all put on their gear and prepare to head down to the unknown darkness pit, but then something alarming happens. Some news makes its way to them. News about a storm making its way from the ruins heading towards Ravenwood proper. A lightning infused what seems to be a tornado of some kind, leaving a trail of different colored crystals on the ground that only seem to grow and expand. They watch as a few people get struck by lightning and crystals grow atop their bodies, covering them completely. After receiving this information, Filippo decides that they should help out the townspeople as well as the school and contacts Penny. She gives him the opportunity to head towards the storm with a unique set of goggles to further investigate what's causing the storm, as well as tasks them with the collection of the crystals for samples. With a quick stop at the law enforcement center to acquire some jetpacks, the group heads to the heart of it all. Once at the scene, Shen experiments with the crystals left behind by the storm. He discovers that with each use of magic type, the crystal changes color, sometimes even rejecting the spell altogether. Alva, Roland, and Pearl jetpack as high up as they can to get a better look of what's going on inside the eye of this tornado. They make out a house-like structure in the midst of it with a huge dark cloud surrounding it in the shape of a beholder. Everyone regroups and makes a plan to get within the tornado itself and make their way up to the structure. Finding a good space to buckle down, the group awaits for the storm to swallow them completely, granting them access to the inside of it. The group makes it up to the house-like structure from within the storm, not before Filippo gets struck by lightning, having these crystals encase his shell. Now standing outside this massive structure, the group makes their way inside only to be greeted by an ever-changing selection of doors and corridors that seem to randomly appear and disappear when somebody blinks. Roland, using his new abilities, gets gets granted the opportunity to see the outline of a man with a long bushy white beard tossing and turning on a bed a few rooms away. So he and Filippo, with Filippo's new super speed, attempt to make their way to him but fall short, entering a whole new room altogether, leaving behind their friends. In this new room, there awaits a beholder scared out of his mind, who then begins to attack the duo. The rest of the group now begins to look for them but finds no success, unknowing of Roland and Filippo's fight.
And then as you open the last door, so where you think you're gonna get to the wizard's room, you look back at Roland and he's like half one.
Fuck!
Just go like.
Can I pull up his eyelids?
No, because it's as you're opening the last one. So as you're opening the last door, instead of there being the sleeping chambers that you had once seen, it is now a large, seemingly empty room.
I don't like this.
At the very center, a small, round collection of cloud in a perfect circle.
Uh-oh. This is really not good.
What color?
Great. And eventually, a long slit appears along the face of the ball, and it opens up into an eye. And the second slit appears underneath it.
Dude.
Oh no!
And it opens up into a mouth with these teeth.
Oh.
And then 10 tendrils.
Oh, 10. It's the whole thing, guys.
Yeah,
no, that's
it is.
10 tendrils. Each tendril, I think.
By the sheer luck of the draw, Alva opens a door that leads them straight to the old man, Air Janasi, who has been having a nightmare this whole time. Alva gently wakes him up and hopes that it stops all the craziness that's been happening so far. Shen manages to open up another door in the exact same room that leads them to the room where Roland and Filippo are. Filippo, now unconscious and Roland barely holding on, get lucky as the beholder turns to look at Shen, zapping him. The old man manages to eradicate the beholder, saving everyone. And soon after, everything turns back to normal and the shifting of the corridors stops.
What is going on? He's like, who are you people?
We're students of the Ravenwood Academy.
Oh, so I'm at Ravenwood?
You're right,
Yeah.
He's like,
Ravenwood.
alright, so I made my destination. Alright, that's not bad.
What?
You only killed like a ton of populace.
Okay, I get it. I'll work on it. I'll get them back. It'll be alright, okay?
No, you need to come down with us and
I'm going.
apologize.
I'm going.
Yeah,
God, hey.
Wait, who are you?
Yeah.
This
So.
isn't your fault.
I'm so glad you got that.
No, it's not my fault at all.
The man, now known as a wizard patron by the name of Cabo, apologizes to the group and thanks them. The group tells him that he's in Ravenwood and must now explain to the people, especially the authorities, of what happened. Cabo agrees and lands his levitating home safely onto the ground of Ravenwood proper. Police Asimar take Cabo for further investigation for his unintentional destruction, and the group awaits aboard the house. On Cabo's return, he explains to the group that on his way to Ravenwood he fell asleep and began having a nightmare, which cost everything, but that he will work with the school to revive all those who lost their life, as well as any repairs that need to be done. As a reward for saving him from himself, he gives the group a haversack and even offers to be their patron wizard, giving them a door handle to teleport them inside his house whenever they please. Feeling successful in their endeavor, the group drops off the samples of crystals at Penny's lab and the jetpacks back at the police headquarters, being greeted by the immense applause of the officers. With their picture taken for the paper, the group now makes headlines as the ones responsible for the salvation of the school. This time.
Oh no.
And then the rest of the officers.
No.
All of you guys who.
It was just me and Alva.
Let me tell you, son. You did good.
Thanks.
We're proud of you guys.
Thanks.
All of you guys.
Thanks.
Are you guys all there?
No, it's just me and
I'll
Alva.
be there because I'm gonna be in that
Oh,
shopping
okay.
I
area.
wanted to return the jetpacks.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Here's what- let me
Crazy.
tell you. Let me tell you, I am very, very impressed with what you guys did. You guys did a lot. Not anyone would just run in there not knowing what's going on.
You could actually thank Filippo. He's the person that cursed all of us, and he was the
Well,
leader of the
Filippo,
pack.
let me tell you, thank you very much.
So I think a round of applause for Filippo.
For family.
For
Team
familia.
effort.
A round of
Really.
applause for
Team
familia.
effort.
Team effort.
And that's everything that happened in episode 11, Storm Chasers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just know that if you want to catch this very campaign live, we are live every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. CST at twitch.tv/HopeToDice. Thank you very much for watching. We're Hope to Dice, and we hope to see you again next time.